Hello everybody, this is a really quick tips video demonstrating the process for downloading and then uploading fonts, particularly on a PC computer, just so you have the idea. I've got a file up here that already has a font in here. So with my classes at this point in time, I've demonstrated the code already to them, but I'll show you that code right now and then I'll go through the process by adding a second font. So right now, on this particular file, I've got some comments about how to load an image, and basically the idea is the same way. So you save an image and you also save a font, and then you're gonna have to upload it into P5, and then finally you have to write your 3 lines of code to create the variable to hold. In this case, it'll be the font, then to load the font, and then finally to use the font before you draw a text to the screen. So in our little example here, we have a font1 variable in which I've used a load font of a font called permanent marker, which is there. And then down here you can see I've called text font font1. So that's down here. So now what I want to do is use a font2 variable to create maybe a second message, maybe to support this. So there's lots of different places you can get font. You can even find it on your PC, but I've been showing people to go to fonts.google.com. And I'm just checking my screen here. It looks like we're good. I'm just going to pick a font at random. That's something I haven't used before. Maybe I want to use, let's get something that's kind of interesting. Maybe big shoulders. Okay, so the idea is I'm going to click on this. There's a couple different ways you can do this, but I'm going to use download family. So hit download family. It's going to download into wherever your program downloads. I'm just going to let it go into my downloads folder right now. And it's going to give you a zip file. So the only trick really to this that makes this more difficult than images is that you've on a PCs anyway, you got to unzip the folder. So if you've never done that process, I'm just going to show in folder one way or another, or go to your downloads folder separately, and you can see it appears in this .zip file. So even though you can double click on the .zip file, it looks like you can see all the files you want, you actually can't upload directly from here. You have to, in a Windows computer, right click and extract all. So just extract all. And the default says, do you want to just extract it right to here? And so I'll hit extract all. Now, if you're not used to using zip folders, what it actually does, I'm going to close this so you can see, is it now it'll show this old zip version, but it'll also show the unzipped version without the .zip. Now, depending on your Windows settings at home, you might not be able to see the .zip part. So that sometimes causes students confusion for sure. But you want, if it has file type, look where it says compressed or file folder, and that'll help. Now, in here, I can now upload any of these I want. So you can see there's bold and extra bold and light, etc. So I'm just going to pick, I mean, really, some of these only have one thing, some of them have several files. So I'll just end up picking the regular one and see what it looks like in the long run. So that's what I'm going to do there. Again, I'm making sure you're not in the zip folder, you're in this one that's already been extracted. So right click extract to get that done. Now, here's how we do that. Back in the editor, it's this little little caret sign you want to click. As soon as you do that, it opens up all of the files that you have in your project. You can see I've got a bunch because this is obviously a completed assignment already with some images and some fonts. And so there's this permanent, you can't see the whole thing, but permanent regular TTF. Now, that's going to be a long file name. That's going to be something you're going to have to work with. So you may want to go back to this and say, I don't want to call it that. I'm going to either go into the file name or right click and change it. I'm just going to call it maybe just big shoulders. So I'll just kind of delete this, because if I make it smaller here, it's going to be a lot easier for me to code with later on. Plus, it lets me also really right away know which ones I want to upload. So back to here. So now that I've got this open, there's a little triangle that'll appear, and one of the options is upload file. So you can also create folders if you're going to have lots of fonts and images. You can create an images folder, you can create a fonts folder, but if you do that, then you'll have to make sure you make reference to that folder in your code. So for smaller projects, I usually don't bother. So here's the upload file that shows up. You may see in some older versions there's extra boxes up top, but essentially older versions of P5.js, there's a slightly different window, but this part of the window always appears. So I just got to go and grab that big shoulders and pop it into there, and it takes a moment to load up, and now you can see big shoulders.ttf is here. Okay, there's two different types of font files you can work with, by the way. There's TTF and OTF. Either one of those will work with. So if you come up with any files, I think all the ones from Google are TTF, but either of those will work. Okay, so now I've got font 1, font 2. So I've already created the font 2 variable with my let font 2, but I haven't done anything else with it. So let's try it out. So font 2, equals. You're welcome to copy and paste if you want, if you already have a load font thing in. I'm more used to using double quotes, but some of you know you can use single quotes, and then you have to um, put in the font. I'm not actually sure at this moment of writing this video if that is case sensitive or not. I don't believe it is, but it's worth keeping that way for sure. Now, quite often it's a good idea to hit play now just to make sure you aren't getting any errors. Oh, so I did get an error. So I'm just going to pause my video and just see what I did if I did something silly. One moment. Yeah, no worries. I actually called it big shoulders with an S. Now, if you can't see that, you got to drag it bigger S. I should have caught that right off the bat. So big shoulders with an S. Hit play. And now I haven't used the font yet, so I haven't changed what's here, but you'll notice there's no errors. So quite often I like to test it at the load stage just to make sure they don't have any errors before you start using it a whole bunch of times. Then you think you made a mistake further down the screen. So now let's just make sure that we can do this. So I'll say text, enjoy your day. Now, one of the things it's going to do right away is, I'll just put it right below the other one, 15, comma, I don't know, 330 maybe. It is at first not going to use that font because I haven't told it to. So you need to use, and if you want text size, you need to use text size line. If you want text font, you got to use that line as well. So I'm just going to, I might as well copy and paste those two because I only have to change the settings. So I'm going to make this one quite a bit smaller, maybe a 30. And I'm going to now use my font 2, which should be my big shoulders. And ta-da, we've got our second font. So the process is find it, download the family. Really, the only trick is that unzip. Now, if you're on a Windows computer, it unzips, or sorry, a Mac computer, I believe it unzips automatically, so you don't have to go through that right-click extract. Show in folder again, just a reminder of that process. Right-click extract, get it back to the regular version that's uncompressed. Chromebooks, I believe you have to uncompress them as well, but you should be able to see right away if that's the case. Okay, so hopefully that helps, and have a great day.